All right, I just got off the phone with a potential client that wants to interview me to sell their home. And I got the question, hey, Steve, why should I sell with you over top of somebody who may be possibly offering a lower commission? And that just kind of rang in my head here because we just dealt with a scenario last week of where I proved my worth, in my opinion, tenfold. However, it's very hard for us as agents to answer that question because a lot of the time, it's not just easy for us to express to a client exactly what we do day to day in order to get their home sold, including negotiations. So my brain always goes back to this one story, and I thought I would tell it here about how I learned to negotiate better and pay for myself and make more money for my clients. If you like this type of content, easy for me to say, please click the subscribe button and just gently massage that like button as well. That'll help us push up in the YouTube rankings. Okay, so as I said, I did have a similar scenario to this happen recently. However, I'm going to go back and tell you about the time because it's always easier to tell a story about the time I learned about proving my value through negotiations. All right. So let's go back to 2016. The market was on fire, much like it is today. We listed a property, I want to say only about 2 or 3 blocks away from the home that I grew up in the Green Timbers neighborhood of Surrey. And we listed this property. Now, we knew at that time that we would likely get multiple offers and drive over the asking price. So we had to at first pick a marketing price. Now, list prices these days aren't exactly where we end up. So I like to refer to them as marketing prices now rather than listing prices because it's not necessarily true market value where they're listed. We do expect them to shoot up often. 2016, it was the same thing. So we had a client and they said, listen, all of the properties around me are selling in the 7 to 725 range. So I want to list my property at 729. Sounds reasonable. However, given the marketing idea or the marketing price idea, we strongly encourage that client at that time to list their property at 699 in order to generate more showings than they normally would have gotten otherwise. So now we've got a hot listing at 699. It should generate multiple offers and should go up into the 720, 730, might even set a 740 final sale price. And everybody's going to be happy because we think we are good, amazing agents. But really, this is the part where the market is just taking off and us agents take credit for it. So we market the property and it is it's a blockbuster, like literally lining people up out the door for multiple days at a time and just cycling people through. Then normally, as it is in today's market, as 2016 was, we would set an offer presentation time. We would review offers, let's say at Monday at 7 o'clock was often a time, or Tuesday at 7 o'clock. We ended up with 28 separate offers on that property. Now you can imagine our goal number of like 720 to 740 is now likely going to be overshot dramatically. And I will say to the one client that's listening out there that whose house it was, you know, you had a beautiful house. So that really, really helped. But we were able to generate 28 offers and the offers started coming in and we started seeing them start with eights in front, right? Like we're not now in the 700s, we're now up into the 800,000. And we even went so far, we had an offer at 880, hang on, let me check my notes, $880,000 that at that time was our own buyer. So if we were able to push through that offer, we would get double the paycheck. You can't do that anymore in BC. Back then you could. So that's for another video. That I'll explain that in another video. But so we have an offer for $880,000 on the table when one of our offers comes into the email and it is for $966,000. Let me do the quick math on that. $84,000 more than the other offer. Are you following? Okay, so at this point, We have all the offers. This is a full team effort at this point. This isn't one agent presenting all these offers. Myself, my partner Chanani, were in the office going through offers. My partner Chris, and this is who the negotiation wizard is and why I mentored under him for so long. My partner Chris was in the boardroom with the client starting to review the first offers, because you can imagine this will take a long time to go over each offer. And you do have to go over every single offer. So $966,000 with zero conditions, no financing, all cash deal comes into my email. And I'm just like, how everybody would be over the like, what is going on? However, at that time, I was less experienced than I am now, and I did not know this trick. So I took that hot piece of paper and I ran, well, I guess it was 6 or 7 pieces of paper. I ran down the hall, I slammed it on the table, and I said, here we go. This is it. Chris and Mrs. Client, I'll give you the hint there. Miss Client, this is the offer. Like, it's unconditional. It's 200 and some odd $1,000, $265,000 over the asking price. Sign this paper now. Aren't I a good agent? Well, I thought we were good agents. But it wasn't until the next thing happened that I realized the difference between an okay agent and a very, very good, experienced negotiating agent. So here's what went on. So let me point out at this point, if I was not the listing agent and every other agent or any other agent had taken that listing and ran the same marketing, they could have sold that property for $260 whatever $1,000 over the asking price that night. So when I pushed that paper in front of Chris and the client, and I said, sign it now before it goes away, deposits here, everything's here, this is a done deal, Chris turns to me slowly and says, Steve, please go back to the agent that just submitted this offer, and I want you to say this one thing. Thank you very much for your offer. You are offer number, I think it was 28, it might have been 29. You're number 28. We very much appreciate your offer. We don't want you to lose if this is not your client's best offer. If your buyer would like to change their offer in any way, please do so now. And I said to Chris, no, Chris, sign this offer. This is no joke. Sign this offer now. And he says, no, I want you to go back to the other agent. Let him know we appreciate his offer and let him know we have 27 others. I said, you are crazy. And if you know Chris, yeah, he's crazy, but this is where skill and learning comes in. So I went back and I did exactly what he said. And I was trembling at that time because I'm thinking, this is the stupidest thing ever imaginable. And not 5 minutes later, I get a message from that same agent saying, can you please go to your email? We have a new offer for you. This is our best offer. I opened up that email, and the guy who was already $84,000 higher than the other offer increased his price by $21,000. We took that contract back down the hall to Chris, and we signed that offer and sold the house. Again, remember, $699 list price for $900, and I've got it written down, $987,000. Anyone could have sold that house for the $966 that we had on the table. However, Chris made me learn, and he made me go make the call. And we got Chris, not me, I'm not taking credit for this one. We got that offer up $21,000 more, which paid for our entire fee plus a portion of the other agent. So I know this is a long-winded story, but this is the type of thing that is not easy to say in a 1-minute conversation. It's not nearly as easy to say as, hey, I'll give you a couple grand off. There is value in knowing when to push and how to negotiate. And you can only get that through experience. And let me tell you, that little birdie, that little Chris Devil or whatever was on my shoulder just a couple of weeks ago when we went through a very, very similar situation, it just said, hey, you're getting paid a lot of money for this transaction. Go pay for yourself. And we were able to duplicate that. And often it can get duplicated. So I don't know how else to express this other than just to have this conversation and to say, hey, know what it is you're doing when you go to list your property. You could indeed, and it is totally legal, you can negotiate your commissions or do whatever you want, but make sure if you sign a listing with somebody because they're cutting out $2,000, make sure you're not leaving, in this case, $19,000 on the table. All right, I will stop blabbering. Please click subscribe, hit that like button. And if you don't like this video, also hit that like button. Thanks so much.